Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well, while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 in men, prophet service gathered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, your children, shalom. And in today's video is going to be building off of the latest news of things that you have going on, you know, and the main important thing that they're talking about or discussing in the news is what you have Donald Trump basically saying how, you know, he's threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act in Minnesota due to basically, you know, all of the chaos and the protests and things of that nature that is going on in that state, ultimately due to the woman that was unalived by ICE. So you got a lot of uproars going on behind that. And you got Nero Trump coming out and saying that basically he's going to send the military to Minnesota. You see, and hey, we're definitely living in a time of, you know, martial law and all of these various things getting ready to happen because, hey, we're living in a time of prophecy being fulfilled. And we know that in these latter days that Yahweh Shai is going to bring all of these things to America, man. You see, and Donald Trump is that cruel Lord that the scriptures talk about, which I'm actually grab in Isaiah, right? Chapter 19, right? We're going to pull that out real quick through the spirit, you know. So bear with me while I pull that up real quickly. And we'll actually get straight to the point. You see, we're going to start at verse 4, right? And it says, and the Egyptians, right? And the modern Egyptians are the American people, you see, because this place, America, is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. It said, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And the fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. And that fierce king is none other than Nero, which is Donald Trump today in the reincarnation. And we see that since this man has been in the White House that, hey, everything that he's been doing has been fierce. You see, everything that he's been doing has been going against the Constitution. So, I mean, hey, we see already that this devil does not care, man. And, hey, as we get closer and closer to, you know, these devils getting ready to come out of that power seat, the more they're going to show their horns. So you best believe that, hey, this man is going to, you know, invoke the Insurrection Act. You see, ultimately all throughout America because, hey, martial law is coming, man. You see, these devils are going to lock down this entire country, man. You see, that's what's getting ready to come to this place, America, right? And I'm actually type in on the AI overview on Google, right? What is the Insurrection Act, right? And we're going to get the meaning to that so we can know what it is, right? Just for edification's sake, of course. And it says the Insurrection Act is a U.S. law originally from 1807 that gives the president power to deploy the military, including the National Guard, on American soil to suppress rebellions, domestic violence, or enforce federal laws when state authorities are unable or unwilling to do so, acting as a major exception to the Posse Comitatus Act that generally prohibits military involvement in civilian law enforcement. It allows for extraordinary circumstances where federal troops can make arrests and carry out law enforcement functions, typically after a presidential call for insurgents to disperse, and has been invoked sparingly, most recently during the 1992 LA riots, which was the whole Rodney King situation. So that was the last time that it was, you know, officially implemented or invoked during the Rodney King riots in 1992. But hey, with everything that we see going on in Minneapolis, how they're, you know, basically fighting against the ICE agents and people are out there rebelling and things or whatnot, then ultimately you got this devil talking about that he's going to invoke it in Minneapolis, which ultimately this is going to trickle down to every state in America. Because if he does invoke it in Minnesota, you see, trust and believe that, hey, it's going to come to every other state in America as well, man, because that's how these devils are, man. You see, they can set the stage with it in Minneapolis with all of the chaos that's going on there. And they can, you know, make this a decree to be in every state throughout America, which is going to happen, man. You see, because, hey, these devils, as it tells us in Revelation 12:12, you see, and I got to constantly bring out this scripture because, hey, this is the time we in, man, you know. And I'll start at verse 12, right? And we're going to read it in the KJV. And it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Yeah, these devils know that their time is short, man. They know that their kingdom is coming to an end. So, hey, they're finna show their horns, man. And that's what we see them doing. So you best believe that we're living in a time where, hey, the gloves are off, man, where these devils are about to come full force with trying to establish their new world order, because ultimately that's what it all goes back to. That's what they want to ultimately accomplish, right? Establishing their enterprise, you see, which is ultimately going to fail. And a part of their enterprise is them, locking down these cities and these states in Babylon, right? Which will happen because it's prophecy, man. These things will happen, as far as them, bringing forward martial law and all of these various different types of things, it will occur, So I'm going to actually read this article that I actually have as well on the same topic. It said Trump threatens to use Insurrection Act to deploy troops to Minnesota, right? And it says President Trump on Thursday threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, allowing him to deploy troops as protests against Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE, persists in Minneapolis. It said an ICE officer shot a Venezuelan national in the leg Wednesday night in North Minneapolis, right? So you had another person that was, ultimately pew-pewed by ICE, you see? So ICE is just, pew-pewing people, man. And we know that this is going to set the tone for what's coming, man, which is the civil war, the civil unrest, and all of the other various things that Yahweh Shai is going to bring to this place, man. Because you already got these American people in a frenzy, you see, off of everything that ICE is doing. And the more that they continue to, keep ultimately, pew-pewing people and things like that, the more you're going to see these people get riled up. But really, it's Yahweh Shai that's doing these things, man, because, hey, we're at the end of this place, America, right? And the Lord is about to bring great destruction to this place. So that's why we're seeing all of these things happening at this time, man. These things are not happening by coincidence. These things are happening because it's prophecy. And that's what we're ultimately watching play out here in front of our eyes, right? Let me actually grab a precept, This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9. And I'll start at verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I've told thee before, right? And how do we measure the time diligently in itself? We ultimately look at the scriptures, see what the prophecies say in the Bible, and we align it with what we see happening in the earth now. So we see that everything that Lord Yahweh spoke to his disciples over 2,000 years ago, we see these things happening now. Right? We see the earthquakes happening in diverse places. We're hearing of the wars, the rumors of wars. We're seeing these things, everything that the Lord said will be occurring, man. You see? And in this end, you see a lot of things are going to happen, man. It said, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes, right, and uproars of the people in the world, right, and we're going to actually look up the meaning, right, on Google, right, to uproars of the people, right, the meaning of that, right, because that's what you have going on all throughout the earth. You got it going on now in Iran, and you actually got it going on here in America as well, and all throughout the earth in various different countries and regions, right? So bear with me while I actually, pull it up real quickly, the meaning to uproars of the people, right? And this is what popped up on Google, right? On the AI overview, you see? And what popped up was uproars of the people refers to a situation involving loud and confused noise, shouting, or a general state of commotion caused by people who are angry, upset, or protesting about something. And that's exactly what you have going on, man, all throughout the earth. You see, and you got these people in Minneapolis, they're protesting about the situation that occurred with the woman that was unalived, you see, and you got a lot of them voicing their opinions and things of that nature. But hey, these are the times that we're living in, man, of the end. And that's why you got all of these various things that are conjuring up and happening in these times. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to get back to 2nd Esdras chapter 9, right? Through the Spirit, we're going to get back to that. And I'll start at verse 3 again. It said, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Yeah, because everything that we're ultimately seeing play out here in these times is all going according to the will of Yahweh Shai. Everything is ultimately playing out according to prophecy. You see, everything we're seeing happening is all the will of the Lord. He's the one that's bringing forward these things. You see? And this is why, verse 5, it says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And that's where we're at, man. We're at the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's rulership, man, him ruling the earth and wickedness is getting ready to come to its end. So that's why we see these devils doing everything they're doing about, threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act and bringing martial law and all of these things. Because, hey, we are in the times that these things are going to happen, man. You see? Because, I'm going to get back into the article real quick that I have, right? We're going to finish reading some of that. But I'm going to start again from the top. It says, President Trump on Thursday threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, allowing him to deploy troops as protests against immigration and custom enforcement persist in Minneapolis. It said an ICE officer shot a Venezuelan national in the leg Wednesday night in North Minneapolis after the officer was allegedly attacked by men with a shovel and broom handle. 3 U.S. officials told CBS News, right? It said Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz gave a rare primetime address Wednesday night where he called on Mr. Trump and Noam to end the occupation. He also called on Minnesotans to record ICE's activity for future prosecution. It said a judge on Wednesday morning declined to issue a temporary restraining order against ICE operations in Minnesota, seeking further evidence before issuing a ruling. Right. So basically, like I said, you got these devils being divided against each other, you see, and all of these things are showing us that this place America is at its end now. You see, that's why all of these things are occurring, man, because we're at the end of this age, the end of this world as these people know, you see, which is Esau's world. Right, because that's what we're ultimately watching manifest. You see, we're watching this devil's world being brought to an end, and ultimately the kingdom of heaven being ushered in. Because that's ultimately what's coming after this place America is destroyed, man. And these Edomites are taken out of power. Right, the kingdom of heaven is going to be ushered in. You see, and that's what we're watching happening. We're watching this world end and the kingdom being ushered in. Right, because as it tells us right here, let me grab 2nd Esdras chapter 6. Right. And I'll start at verse 7, right? And it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the pardon asunder of the times? When shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Verse 8, And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Verse 9, For Esau, which is the so-called white man who's in rulership now, it's the end of the world, talking about this age, right? This rulership, this period of time. And Jacob, right, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians, right, as well as you speckled birds as well, they may look like the heathen, but your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's the beginning of it that followeth, you see, and that's what we're in the time of, man. You see, we're watching this devil's world, fall before our eyes, man, you see, and that's why you see so much division among these Edomites and all of these various different types of things, man. And it's ultimately Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that's bringing all of the division that we're ultimately seeing in this country, man. Because we know what the scriptures say about a kingdom divided, which I got to bring that out. We got to bring that out. We're going to go to St. Matthew, right, chapter 12. And I'll read verse 25, right, and verse 26, and I'll read it in the KJV. It said, And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And that's what we see this place America is divided against itself, man. You see, you got the people versus the government, the right versus the left. You see, Republican, Democrat, etc., etc. These devils and these people are just divided on all sides, man, you see. And that's because guess what? The Lord is bringing this place down, man. You see, we're at the end of this damn place. That's why all of these things are happening, It says, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand, right? Verse 26, And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand, right? So, hey, that's what we're watching happening in front of our eyes, man. This place America is done, you see. And in these latter days, hey, there's going to be a lot of, wild things that are going to be unfolding, man. You see, because eventually all of this stuff that we see happening, with the people going up against ICE and all of those various different types of things is eventually going to lead to everything the Lord is bringing, which are these prophecies coming to pass, the nation rising against nation, which is going into civil war, civil unrest. All of these things is what's coming to America, man. And that's what we literally see the stage being set for, man. That's why it's no coincidence all of these things are happening, right? Because we are in these times, man, So let me actually go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, you see. And I always bring this chapter out, but, this is the time we're in, man. So, hey, we're going to keep bringing out these same scriptures, man. You see? Because, hey, this is the time we're in, man. This is what's coming, right? 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe meaning destruction, because that's what's coming in these times. You see, the Lord ain't bringing peace back to this place, America. We just going to continue to see things worsen, man. You see, as the days, weeks, and months progress, It says, verse 15, for the sword of their destruction draweth nigh, right? When something nigh, that means it's close, it's soon. And all of this stuff that the men of the Lord, starting out with the elder apostles, the elder bishops of the great millstone, that we're warning about through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, these things are close. You see, us telling you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man is the devil the Bible speaks about. Hey, you people are about to see that in these times because, hey, he's no longer holding back. You see, the Lord got the spirit on this man to where he's about to show those horns, man. You see, show you why he's the devil that the Bible speaks about. And we've been prophesying and warning our people, starting out with the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone, that these things are coming, right? And ultimately to prepare for these things by getting right with the Lord, right? Because that's what's coming to this place, America, man. Complete chaos, It says, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? Those modern day swords are the guns, right? Which this is going into your civil war, right? The Lord says in Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, these American people, right? And they shall fight everyone against his brother, neighbors against neighbors, roughly paraphrasing, but that's what's coming to this place, man. We are in these times, But it says, verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, right? That word sedition going into people rebelling and revolting against the government. And you already got that happening already on a small scale. That's why you got Trump talking about invoking the Insurrection Act. But guess what? It's going to only get worse. We ain't seen nothing yet. Things are going to continue to escalate more and more, right? As the scriptures have said, like a woman that is in travail, going through her birth pains. That's how these bad times here in America and all throughout the earth are going to be, man. You see, we're just going to continue to see things build up more and more, and they're going to intensify. So even though you see a form of seditioning going on in America with how people are going up against ICE, that's only minute compared to what's truly going to unleash and unfold in these times. You see, it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, which is going into, the military, you see the police officers, etc., right? And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, because you're going to have people out here basically doing whatever, man. That's how lawlessness and how chaotic it's about to get out here in this place, America, soon come. As it tells us in 2 Timothy 3:1, this knowing also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. The meaning of that word perilous goes into times that are dangerous, hazardous, and risky, man. You see, and we're definitely living in the beginning stages of some very dangerous times, man. You see, and it's only going to get worse, But it says, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? Because you're going to have martial law in place, man, all throughout these cities in America. So you won't be able to move from city to city unless ultimately you have their RFID microchip, because that's what it all goes back to. You see these devils trying to establish their new world order. And that's what we see them pushing for, man. And they're doing it quickly because, as I read early in Revelation 12, this man knows that his time is short. So he's moving quickly, you see, we're trying to establish this new world order. You see, that's why any event that happens in America, you see, especially a bad event, they're going to, take advantage of it, you see, because these events and these situations that are occurring, whether they're psyops or not, because we know we're living in a time of this devil coming with all type of psyops and all type of, false flags and etc. But hey, they're still going to use these things to further their agenda, right? It says, verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's what's coming to America, man. You see, the Babylonian people out here, these American people, you see, because they're proud as hell, man. These men are proud, these women, their children that they're raising and bringing up, they're proud and wicked. So, I mean, hey, these people are very haughty and, arrogant in this country, man. And that's why the Lord is about to bring all of these miseries and all of these different types of things upon them in these times. As it tells you in 2 Ezra 8:50, for many great miseries, right, shall be done unto them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. You see, and that's what we see about to come upon this place, America, man. Many great miseries. Part of those miseries is martial law, you see, and everything else that the Lord is going to allow to come upon this place, man. You see? So, these are the times we're in, man, and hey, this is what's coming. And that's why it behoove you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians out there to seek the Lord, man. You see, while you still have time, while the doors of mercy are still opening. You know, because a lot of our people like to believe in their mind that America is going to get great again and that, you know, DJT is going to save this place and that America has a chance. No, this place doesn't have a chance, man. You see, this place is done. You see, and that's why the best thing for you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians to do in this time is to seek your power, man, while you still have time, because America is over, man. You see, it'll never be great again, like a lot of you people like to believe. The America from the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s, oh, that America is far gone, man, and it's not coming back because, hey, we're at the end of this place, you see. So with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying, just a quick hit through the spirit. As I said, building off of the article that I had. You know, with that being said, we're going to end the lesson giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushua Ba'ashim Rakak. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS while I learn his truth. Till the next time, shalom to the elect. Shalom.